All right, let's kick things off. Hello and welcome everyone to today's Sigstore office hours. We do have a very light agenda, I must admit, still playing a bit of catch up from FOSDEM, but that was good. But yeah, happy to open up the floor to any topics folks want to discuss. If anyone has any demos, those are always welcome. But if there's any Q&A or other topics, please let me know. So anybody have anything they want to highlight for today? I'll do a little bit of a round table. Zach, just going in the order of my screen. Anything from your side?
No. The exciting news is hopefully Cosine 2.0 is going to come out in the next week or so. But I don't have any demos. I definitely don't have a demo of this, but a very cool feature just landed, which is experimental support for the new OCI 1.1 distribution spec. And so if you know what this is, congratulations, you're a nerd. But you're going to know how exciting it is. For those who don't, the way that Cosine works to store signatures is it's got a, I will describe it as a inelegant but quite clever hack, where if you have an image with a digest, a SHA-256 digest ABCDE, we will make a tag in that same repository that says, and the tag says abcde.sig, basically. So you look up the image, you get the digest, based on the digest name, you look up a new tag, and that's where we store the signature. So that's a hack, but it works pretty decent. Inspired by this and by other tools that had a similar need, and we're doing similar things. OCI is enshrined that in the new specification with what they call a referrers API. So you can actually just stick artifacts in a registry and say this points at this image. And then you can go and you can say, hey, for this image, give me all of the things that point at it, and you can filter by type. So you can filter for SBOMs, you can filter for signatures, you can filter for whatever you want. And so this is a lot nicer than the hack that's happening. So we're going to have some period of backwards compatibility. Right now, it's sort of gated. And I don't, as far as I remember, none of the big public repositories actually support this yet. So you're going to have to spin up an OCI registry on your own if you want to play with it. But that's a cool. It's like the world's most boring demo because it's just me telling you about a new feature. But that's what I got for you. Vila, you got a question?
Yeah, so this is really cool, and I think the sort of kind of the pathway kind of touches a little bit on I think it's called prefix tag or tag prefix. Which is also going to be interesting to, I think, to see how we move from that to the reference-based stuff.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying, so OCI, when they did this, so they have, we have our cosine hack, and then we have the quote unquote, and I'm going to wait a second for Brandon, because Brandon is one of the folks who was involved in the creation of this specification. Brandon, you're right on time. We're talking about OCI. We're talking about the distribution spec. We're talking about all your favorite topics.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious how much of the, and I can go read the spec as well, but if you know off the top of your head. So fairly frequently I've seen, and actually somebody just asked about this in the policy controller, which is using tag prefixes. So I might create, say, a vulnerability scan using 5 of my favorite tools because I don't trust one of them. So I do 5 of them, and sometimes, and you might tag prefix them with, like, I don't know, serif, XYZ, whatever else. So then you have to go ahead and know what the tag prefix is a priori. And with the references, What I don't know is that at what level will I be able to start the filtering process? So when I go in and grab the manifest, and I basically say that I have these references to it, how much of the information is going to be at the first level so that I don't have to fetch all the, does that mean like all the reference? That's my question number one. And if this is sidetracking too far in the weeds, we can tee this out. And then the second one is there's also the Docker's references, sort of kind of how, how's that going to work?
The Docker one is TBD. I've seen those and chat with them and said it would be great if they were using the OCI stuff, and they said that that's on their list, and so hopefully they'll transition over and we'll all be on one format. That would be a great day if and when that happens. What we pull up is the artifact type and all the annotations. And the artifact type, if you're pushing with the image manifest, which everybody is doing right now, we're not doing the new artifact manifest just yet, and right now is question whether we'll add that or not. It looks like we're probably going to pull that out. The artifact type from the image manifest is the media type from the config descriptor. And so whatever that media type is, you pull that up, that becomes your artifact type. All the annotations, they get pulled up. And so looking at those two, you'll have those in your overall manifest list of all the different things that are referencing your image, your digest, whatever you're pointing to. And you'll be able to pick and choose and say, okay, this is a SBOM for Cyclone DX, this is an SBOM for SPDX, this is a signature, this is an attestation, and decide which of those things you want to pull down and do something special with.
Good. Yeah, I was hoping that there would be a way to filter. In my head, I call it the first level. So instead of going to pull all of them. So that's good. Good to hear.
We really cared about that part because we don't want to have to pull down 20 manifests just to find the one signature that applies to you.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty cool. And it sounds to me like maybe we could get a demo on the books for next office hours in a couple of weeks. I know
Yeah, I bet we definitely could. I bet Josh would be willing to do it. So I can go because it's Josh's PR. So I can talk to him about that. For better or for worse, the demo is extremely unexciting because it just works, which is what you want for a feature like this. But yeah.
And one thing I've started to see is just like more conversations and people trying to understand like the Sigstore relationship with SBOMs and the distribution mechanism and how you find them. So I think just highlighting some of those features and capabilities will be super useful to folks.
Definitely. The issue that I think this really brings up that's interesting is most of the cosign command line interface is sort of makes an assumption that there's only one signature attached to an image. There's only one SBOM attached to an image. And with the referrers work, that no longer needs to be true. Which is actually really good because in the real world, you might want more than one person to sign an image, and you might want a threshold of three different people to sign something. And so that's really good, but it's going to require us to take a step back and revisit kind of how people are using cosign.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, good topics to thrash out. Okay, great. Thank you very much for that, Zach. Yeah, for folks who may have joined while Zach was talking, we don't have any fixed demos or topics today. If there's something you want to share or discuss, please feel free to throw it on the agenda. In the meantime, I was just doing a quick roundtable as pulse check to see how folks are doing, if there's anything, questions they want to ask, or things they bring up for future topics. I'm going to go in the order people have signed in. So Zufei from JFrog. So is there anything you'd like to bring up, ask about? Just say hi. Yes. Zufei, I don't know if you can hear us. You're still on mute. Right. Just unmute if you have the chance. Otherwise, I'll move on to Benny. Benny. Oh, sorry. Wait, I see the unmute. Go ahead.
I'm Zufei. Yeah. I don't have question. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. No worries. Great. Thanks for saying hi. Benny, anything from your side you want to ask about or highlight?
Sure, yeah. The only thing I could probably bring up is OpenSSF Day NA. Are we doing anything there?
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't believe we are currently, but that's probably something we should think about as a community. What's the status of that? The call for papers isn't out yet, is it?
Correct. The CFP opens, I think, next week. So just prep it up for that.
That's a great one to add as a standing topic. And yeah, it also reminds me, I've got this standing item where trying to find a place to bring a lot of contributors together for maybe a contributor summit. So yeah, I'll organize some thoughts there and bring it to the community.
Cool.
Great. Thanks. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, thank you, Benny. Vipul, how's it going?
Hello. Nothing, no questions from my side. I just came back from a few holidays, so trying to get back up to speed in implementing Sigstore locally in Avinfra. I did open a few PRs, but I think I know what to do and what to fix in them in the Helm charts. So I'm going to update my PRs in the Helm chart and resend them. But yeah, no questions. Okay.
Yeah, my deepest condolences to your inbox if it's anything like mine when I come back from holiday. Nice to see you again.
Thanks.
Zach, GitHub Zach, not
yeah, that's right. Other Zach, as I'm sometimes called, mostly by Zach Newman. So I guess there's one minor announcement that we can make. Several people probably know that we are working with NPM to add support for build and publish provenance via Sigstore. And we are hoping to launch a private beta of that integration later this week. So if you are a maintainer of a JavaScript package and you are interested in using Sigstore, which probably is the case given that you're on this call, you should drop me a line. I'll put my email in the agenda here. And then, we're doing the private beta in order to help uncover issues, talk through user experience, that sort of thing. But it is our intent to, in the coming months, move to a public beta where this would be open to anyone who wants to use it. And that's when we'll do a little bit more of a marketing push. But until then, if you're interested in the private beta, I'll drop my email in the agenda for you to reach out.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's very exciting. Yeah, it's nice to see things get to the stage, and yeah, folks do hit up Zach on that often. See how it goes. Yeah, and like you said, you're keeping it pretty limited, and then there'll be a big public one down the road where we can shout, make noise about.
Yes, yeah, the private beta is mostly about kind of shaking out final issues before we open up our public beta. I don't know if we've announced a date yet for the public beta, but I guess I would say in a handful of months.
Great, I like it. Cool, very exciting. And yeah, Brian, GitHub, anything you want to add or say different to that?
Yeah, just somewhat related, or I guess very much related to Zach's announcement. It's part of like getting this package provenance stuff built into the NPM CLI. We built a like JavaScript implementation of sort of the Sigstore signing and verification workflows. That's all encapsulated in this Sigstore JS project. And in preparation for this private beta launch, we sort of released the first official version of that, the 1.0 of Sigstore JS, that implements the complete sort of like signing and verification workflows for that stuff. So that was exciting.
Yeah, that's great. And again, is that something we want to promote much at this stage, or just let people know? And it's, I say, it's pretty tied to the beta.
Yeah, I don't know. Zach, we didn't really talked about any sort of like announcements or promotion of the like Sigstore JS stuff on its own. I think just our focus is sort of on the NPM stuff at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Like on the Java community, we did just like a momentum blog post just to highlight where things were at when the timing feels right, and specifically when you want to engage the wider communities and get people to, follow a specific call to action. Happy to work with you all to put something similar together. So yeah,
Great.
But yeah, this is extremely exciting. Nice way to kick things off in 2023. Great. And who we have next? Vile.
Well, as usual, I went out of order and I already asked my question and got the answer. So, yay.
Holland. And Brandon.
No updates from me. I'm just sitting back chatting, and if anybody wants to talk about OCI stuff, I'm happy to answer questions.
Perfect. Your timing was great earlier. If I miss anyone, I can't see the full list, but if I miss you, please go ahead and say hi or let me know if you have any questions. Okay, let's leave it there. If folks have any ideas, I'll start reaching out again to the community just on getting some more demos and certainly what we discussed earlier. So we have some stuff in a couple of weeks. But otherwise, yeah, thanks everybody for joining and for sharing those very exciting updates. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.